You know, my biggest memory of is him mispronouncing something while we were reading. What the fuck is this thing called? Romeo and Juliet.
Really? What did he mispronounce? Okay, what was he
Tybalt.
try? What was he trying to say?
He was trying to say Tybalt.
Okay, and what did he say?
Tyblat. And the funny, the way he says it in the death scene, bro. You know how that light is like serious and it's just dead. Like it's a very fucking dead line. It was just Tiblat Falls.
Yeah,
Sorry. Fuck. I just said it like he said it.
yeah,
No, but the line's supposed to be Tibalt. He goes Tiblat Falls, and I was like Tiblat Kersplat. Like for me, it's one of the me and well, you remember Martin, right?
I think so. Yeah.
That friend that walked up to me one time when I was like Martin.
Hmm.
It's like me and him couldn't shut the fuck up for the next 2 months with Tibet.
This is another pooter situation.
Pooter.
Pooter.
You're just gonna grab that part from the other audio, and you're just gonna be like, I'm fucking keeping this in here.
Yeah. By the way, for those watching, here's the context.
Fuck, what's the name of that dog that's hypoallergenic? Uh, Give me a second.
I have no idea. I'm genuinely curious now.
I know the Choloscuincle is one of them. Apparently a pooter. Pooter. Poodle! Shit, goddamn.
All right, now that you're caught up, pooter.
Pooter. Pooter.
Pooter.
Tiblat Falls to a pooter.
and gets
Fucking shit.
and gets eaten
Huh?
by a pooter.
Pooter. The one person that doesn't know what the fuck is going on because they haven't been paying attention is like, he got eaten by a booty hole. God, that's a booty hole. God fucking damn it.
Oh, dude! But on a real note, like
Yeah.
I make fun, I laugh, I like all that, but like I have those brain fart moments all of the time, dude.
Bro, priest.
Dude, you still give me crap for that one.
It's been 7 years, bitch.
I know.
Well, actually,
Cause like,
yeah, it has been 7 years.
yeah,
I'll continue to give you crap for that one until I forget about it.
which you won't, which you won't.
Yeah.
For context, so I guess at one point during high school, Vincent and I were having conversations about religion, I guess.
Yeah.
And like, I, I think, from what I remember, I think we were talking about the differences between, like, uh, the Christian, and
And Christians and Catholics.
yeah, Christians and Catholics, where I guess I was talking about how like, in place of like priests, like we have pastors, but for whatever reason, I had like the biggest brain fart, and instead of pronouncing it priest, I said priest. and, and Vince has not let me live that down ever since. To the point where he's made a joke with that being the punchline.
What kind of car Pope drive?
A priest.
You- Nobody heard that.
The snort. Oh my gosh, can I get a replay of that? Beautiful.
Bitch.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my fucking god.
No, but yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. I've had those brain fart moments like more than I more than I can really like acknowledge in my mind. It's very unfortunate.
Ain't that a fucking mood?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of that is just because like my mouth tends to move faster than my brain could really like catch up. So like instead of like both of them being in sync and giving a concise thought, my mouth just becomes mush while my brain is trying to like keep up with like my mouth. And then I just have those moments where like what comes out of my mouth is not English, nor Spanish, nor Spanglish.
Bro, imagine having a brain.
I know, right?
It says someone whose brain never fucking stops.
Yeah. Well, mine too, but like in a different way. Like yours is more like logic. Mine is just like overthinking.
Mine's logic to the. How do I explain this? Logic to the point where it's just hurtful
Yeah.
at times.
And mine
Where
is
instead of being like, oh, I can do this because of this and this, it goes, you can't do this because of this and that and that and that
mhm.
and this. And mathematically speaking, that. And it's just like number. And I'm just like, oh, fuck.
Your brain is just a logistical naysayer.
Yeah, basically, dude.
Mine
It's
is
kind of like logistically, don't do that shit.
yeah.
Realistically, also don't do that shit. Um, and that's why I like spreadsheets. No, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's gonna sound like but in order to file my classes for IVC,
Mhm.
I made a spreadsheet.
Wait, legit?
I made. You want me to?
Like
I made a spreadsheet.
like the class numbers and locations and stuff, or like just to keep track of what
Not
classes
not
you
not the
have.
locations. Not the locations.
Uh-huh.
Not the locations. Um, let me just send you a screenshot.
Yeah. Actually, do we show this in the video?
You can blur out class numbers and
Yeah.
like it'd be real interesting to see if anyone could.
Oh, true.
But
I see.
look at how I like my brain works in order to fucking look up classes to make shit easier. I had to build a fucking spreadsheet, and then I had to be like, oh, you're only getting 3 classes. Doesn't matter how many of them you apply for.
Oh. Oh,
um,
okay. I see.
yeah, you'd never guess which ones I actually applied for.
Well, okay. Well, let me look at the list here. Also, what is HE?
I don't fucking remember. Health ed. It's health ed.
Oh, health education, and
I don't
then
know. I don't remember what CIS is.
okay. Well, let me see. As far as the ones you applied for, mm, maybe not math, but maybe one of the accounting ones.
Okay, I couldn't get accounting 212,
Ah, okay.
and I couldn't get the first CIS.
Okay.
Like the way this is written out is yellow I applied for, blue I
Oh.
couldn't get,
Uh huh.
purple was to be announced, and I forgot what the fuck green was for. Oh, scheduling conflicts.
Oh. Okay.
No, it wasn't scheduling conflicts. It was I think it was a class that I could take more or less in the middle. Oh no, it was to check if there was anyone out of that class.
Uh huh. Ah. Okay.
But I had to do this in order to understand what the fuck was going on with the classes.
Yeah. But yeah. But I mean, in a sense, like it is more organized. And to be fair, like if I had like your type of like
Brain.
brain, yeah, I could see how this would be helpful for me. Like I would be very confused. Like mainly because like I am somewhat of like a spur of the moment kind of understanding.
No, dude.
Cause like if I were to do that like within like the next what like mm, probably even just like within a day, I would completely forget what each thing was supposed to be.
No, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm.
If you had to go through the IVC crap to pick out, well, technically they use WebStar. If you had to go through WebStar
Hmm.
to pick out your classes, your ADHD would be triggered.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's just like number. Well, number letter number letter.
No, yeah, that would probably be too much.
You probably sit there going, "What the fuck am I looking at?" And to be fair, for me, it wasn't just "What the fuck am I looking at?" It was, "Okay, I'm looking at this, but everything is in a different fucking section. It isn't like, oh, you're gonna try to study this. Here's a few things that you should try to uh give me a second.
Hmm.
Here's a few things that you should try to put in your roster of classes. No, it was here's everything that you can try to put in your roster of classes, which is the worst way to fucking do that.
Probably,
Like
yeah.
let's be honest. If you were trying to grab classes,
Uh
and
huh.
instead of it being like here's your recommended classes, and here's your recommended classes, here's your electives, here's the shit you have to complete for general ed,
Hmm.
and it was in a line, and then it was like here's everything else you can take. It'd be so much fucking easier.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be understandable. It'd be a great UI. I don't understand why they don't do shit like that.
Mm.
But instead they have here's everything. Go nuts.
I mean, yeah, like that would very much be a lot more helpful. Honestly, it would have been helpful for like someone like me a lot more just because having too many options is an absolute nightmare for me. Like, okay, I'll even put it in like terms of IVC because I remember way back in the day, back when I was
Mm-hmm.
like struggling to even like commit to like, oh, I should get a job or oh, I should try and go to college.
Study music.
Yeah, right when I was like in the midst of like I want to do music and nothing else. I'm still kind of in that, but that's beyond the point.
Mm.
Um, I remember my parents would make me look at like the courses that IBC um had available, and even just the list in itself, because like they had a listing in the website. Even
Yeah.
even the list in itself was so confusing to me. Like I couldn't understand like what exactly I was supposed to look for as far as like finding the things that I was looking for, which mostly was just like music classes because they're but like
Like even if you know what you're looking for and how to find it, everything is in a jumbled mess of numbers and letters.
yeah, very much so.
Like I knew what I was looking for. They told that's what the counselor's there for. She tells you what to look for. The thing is, when you apply for the classes on your student portal, website, whatever the fuck it was, I don't quite remember at this moment, and that's probably gonna kick me in the ass next week. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
Even when you look for your classes through those chips, and you know what you're looking for, and you know what you're going into, and you know what kind of mess and everything, it's so fucking difficult
Yeah.
because everything's next to each other.
Mhm.
There is some things that aren't next to each other, thank God, but that's once you know, okay, I'm looking for this class at this schedule. It's number what the fuck was it? Like number 1312, let's say.
Mhm.
Well, actually, how long are these numbers? That's how you know you're a fucking nerd. Uh, okay. Uh, like 10,306. Like I'm looking for 10,306.
Uh-huh.
It's one of those things where first you have to see what class has that fucking schedule. Then you have to um and it's so confusing sometimes because it's like you have to what area it's in. So if it's history, but it's not history, it's fucking social science. So you have to look it down in fucking social science history, or it's not what the fuck was it? Computer systems. It's system integration. So you have to look it down in fucking system integration, and it's just like, why is this not more comprehensive?
Yeah. Like, no, yeah, and like, I do get it, because, like, if you're gonna make a subcategory a main category, how do you expect people to, like, know that you're gonna do that? Because, like, it would be so much easier if, like, all these subcategories that you think, oh, like, these are, like, main ideas or whatever. Like, if you just organized everything under one, like, connective, like, umbrella, it would make things so much easier.
Like use the main category, and if you're asked do the subcategory part, just make it so that you can click the main category and scroll down through the subcategory.
Exactly.
Makes it a little bit more easier instead of having to the one subcategory at the bottom of the fucking page, which I had to do. Fucking annoying.
Cause like
I flipped.
no,
I fucking hated it.
cause like the thing, cause like genuinely, it would be so much easier if you just had very general, like, main categories, like, I don't know, like math, science, history, or like even something more along the lines of, like, specifics, like, I don't know, business and stuff like that, or music or art, just in general, like art, performative arts, or I don't know, like,
Jesus Christ, not performative arts.
you know what I
They're
mean.
so performative.
You know what I mean. Or
They're
just
so
or
performative.
just art in general, you know? Like,
Yeah.
have all of these very general categories that you can, like, easily, like, oh, this belongs here, this belongs here, this belongs here. If there's, like, I get it if, like, a subcategory is, like, super specific that it doesn't neatly fit into, like, a generalized category. That's fine, just as long as you don't, like, just as long as you don't make other, like, subcategories that could fall into these umbrellas, like, main, like, general categories. Like, that's what makes everything super confusing.
Like in some ways, I get it because, of course, not all students are gonna want to fucking study the same thing.
Of course, yeah.
But at the same time, streamline the process.
Absolutely.
Uh, I was gonna say a little bit, but if you streamline most of the process and leave a couple things that are electives, it works.
Yes.
Literally, that's how fucking high school works.
Honestly, though, yeah.
Yeah, like just make it like high school. Just be like, okay, you're going into what the fuck is it with fucking yeah, let's say BA, business administration. You're going into streamline that bitch.
Yeah.
Say you're gonna take this class, that class, and this class this semester.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like if you want an elective, just take the class another fucking time of the week.
Yeah, yeah.
That's simple. Unfortunately, that's not how it works.
True. IVC, take notes.
Obviously, take notes. No, any fucking
No, yeah. Legit, any college, any university,
institution. No, not
institution.
even not even just colleges. Institutions overall.
Mm-hmm.
They need to streamline their like even what the fuck is this thing called? Even the DMV needs to streamline shit a little bit more. Did you peek? You peeked.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But even the DMV needs to put some chill on their shit. Like,
That genuinely got me.
why?
Because I didn't expect it.
And the funny thing is, the DMV is probably one of the most streamlined ones out there.
You've kind of cut it. You kind of cut in and out there.
One of the most streamlined ones out there. Better?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the DMV is like, what you need? I need this. Here's the form. Fill it out. Sit your ass down. The thing is, it's like, well, they give you a number,
Yeah.
so it's like, oh, it's B, blah blah blah. But sometimes they take so fucking long to call you. Sometimes it's like, hey, don't forget about section 23B 56.
Yeah.
50.
Honestly, but
uh,
but like what I find most frustrating, and like the thing is, I've only ever had to deal with like the DMV stuff like once or twice, I
mhm.
think. Um, because like I still haven't like,
Don't drive.
yeah, I still don't drive and haven't learned how to drive and haven't gone through the process of like getting a driver's license yet. I've only gone to the DMV because I've had to get my ID. Um, and
But like, oh,
oh
like,
my gosh, like genuinely, like it's so frustrating because yeah, I've been through that process where like we're like, what are you here for? Oh, I'm here to do this. Okay, here's your number, go sit down or whatever, fill out this stuff or whatever. And
mhm.
like you go through that whole process, you wait all these like long hours and stuff. And then by the end they're just like, "Oh, by the way, you needed this document, you don't have it. Come back another time with the document." And you're just like, "You could have just told me that in the first place and I like you could have just listed out all of this stuff that I needed so that I could have it with me." But no, I have to like research it, and then even sometimes they don't even list the thing that you're supposed to bring that you wanted me to
You
bring.
know, for me, it's more of a thing where I know they're gonna ask you some fucking unnecessary bullshit.
Exactly.
So I've already made it to where I just have unnecessary bullshit with me. It fucking includes bullshit. What the bitch? But like I've made it to the point where I don't know if they're gonna ask me for a fucking water bill. But I have a fucking water bill. You need a water bill? I will tug it out my ass. I have the fucking water bill.
But dude, like it's so upsetting because like it's the sort of thing where like just tell me, like I'm very much someone who is like, tell me exactly what you need me to do, step by step, like straightforward, no bullcrap directions, and I will do it for you. I will go out of my way and do it
And do
exactly how you
it
tell
for
me.
you,
Ex-
Kermit.
I'll do it exactly as you tell me to do it. So like when you have these instructions of like, okay, bring this, bring this, bring this, bring this, I go out of my way to be like, okay, I have this stuff, and I triple check. I don't double check. I triple check because I'm
Yeah.
that much of an overthinker. And by the end, I give you all this stuff, and yet you tell me, oh, actually, you need this document as well. Then why didn't you list it as a thing that I needed? Like, it's it's so unnecessary. Like,
Where's Form 23B? What do you mean?
mm-hmm,
Like, dude, it's gotten to the point. Well, actually, you know what? No. It's been to the point.
mm-hmm.
Family Guy has a joke about it. And that joke might be from like the fucking 90s.
Yeah, no, cause like I remember my experience with it was I was applying for the new ID that was coming out at that time. I think it was called I think the name of it was like the Real ID or something like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
S-
know what you mean.
So I had brought in all the documents
Oh
supposedly.
wait. I just remembered something. Family Guy's first episode was like in Y2K, so it's not from fucking 9. What a dumbass. Anyways, go on.
So like okay, so I brought in all the documents that supposedly I needed, right? For this real ID. And then by like the end of the process, they ended up telling me, "Oh, actually, instead of 2 documents, we need 3 to proof of residency. Instead of 2 pieces of documents that prove your residency, you needed 3." And
What the fuck?
it didn't tell me that at all. So I was just like, then why wasn't I aware? Like, we researched this. And I say we because at that point, me and my grandpa went to get our IDs, and so we had to research, and we both like were helping each other out. Like, hey, do you know like exactly what we need? And just like, no, yeah, we need this, 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 and this, and this. And like, even my parents were nice enough to help me with that. But like, by the end of it, they were like, oh, by the way, you need three, not two. Two is for like the regular ID, the one that like the normal one, I guess. And I was just like, well, what the heck? Like, why didn't you list this information? We researched this. And they're like, oh, I don't know,
Bro.
but like you needed three. And I was just, and I was so, and like I was even more upset because at that point we took the bus to the
No
DMV.
fucking mames.
Uh huh.
Se mamó.
Yeah. So we couldn't even go. So like legit, we couldn't even go to a car to grab another document, cause we didn't come in a car. We came in the bus. Oh no, wait, I lied. No, we were driven to the DMV, but the person who drove us had to go. Like they had to leave to do something. A person that drove us, my dad. But yeah, like we got dropped off, and my dad had to go do something, so we had to take the bus back home. So they were like, "Oh, you need three documents instead of two," and I was just like,
Bruh.
"I can't go to a car to get a third document." So they're like, "Okay, I guess we'll have to settle for a normal one." And I was just like, "Fine, I guess. Fine, fine." That was my only huge experience in the DMV, and it immediately like set the tone for like what I have to prepare for, like once I have to deal with that again.
That's low key why you haven't fucking learned to drive.
Honestly, like beyond like my anxieties and fears about it, like just rethinking back to that process is just so frustrating to me. Like
Noodle.
like I don't know. Cuz like for me, like again, I need clear instruction. And if you give me a clear instruction that is incorrect, then how the heck am I like the one at fault here? You know?
Oh, I understand that.
People, man. Like I don't know. Maybe that is an ADHD thing. I don't know. Like okay, I'm saying all of this in speculation because I don't have a diagnosis. I have no idea, but I do have my suspicions, and many people around me have suspicions. So
The
like,
teachers have their suspicions.
no, yeah, legit. Like, so this is all just straight up speculation. Do not self-diagnose. Go see a professional. I have been in the process of looking for a professional to help me. I just need, again, clear instruction as to how to get in touch with said professionals. Um, but yeah, like
Only professional, but only in the cooking industry.
mm-hmm. But yeah, like, Vince, come on, bro.
Wow! What did I say?
But anyway, like, but yeah, like, I've had my suspicions, and like some of these like frustrations that I have, I feel like very much, kind of like makes sense with like a sort of like an ADHD like mindset sort of thing. Um, but yeah, like it would be so much easier. Like I feel like for people to have like super direct step by step, like very direct instructions, I feel like it would get tedious because it's just like, oh, I know what I'm doing. But like the world would be so much easier to navigate if there was just
Job,
like
I low key feel like I could teach you cooking only because I'm like, don't fucking do that.
no, yeah, and the thing, dude, like I that's how I've learned to cook. Like I remember the first time I went to make carne asada. I
Oh
yeah,
yeah, that was like a month.
no, yeah, that was like a month ago, and I did it on my own. But I had instructions, like I had a recipe from my mom, because like she had bought the meat, because like
Oh wait, were you already here by then?
no,
Okay,
No,
I'm about to get
so
mad.
okay, so what happened was, they were coming over, and at that point we already bought groceries. I already bought my groceries, but they were wanted to come over just to hang out with my grandma. Which again, shout out grandma, you're the best. Um,
Shout out to his grandmas, because I don't have one.
no, yeah, to both of my grandmas, you guys are amazing. Los quiero mucho. Um, but
Yo también les quiero.
But what was I talking? Oh right. So they wanted to come over to hang out with my grandma, and they had asked if we needed any groceries, and we were like, no, no, we don't need any. And my mom asked like, well, do you guys want meat? Quieren carne? And I was just like, well, I don't really know how to make it, but sure, I'm down. And she was like,
No se diga más.
and
Para la carnita asada.
no, yeah, and she was like, okay, like I'll buy you meat so you guys can make carne asada. And so I was just like, okay, if you tell me how to make it, I'll do it. I'll be okay with you guys bringing meat here. So they brought the carne, and then like when they left, my mom had texted me, uh, the way she prepares it, and she gave me like a step by step, like, okay, first you need to do this. You need to prepare the meat with this. You need to add this to the meat. Make sure not to add too much, otherwise it'll be too overwhelming of a flavor. Um,
You know, I have the opposite problem when I make carne asada.
you under
I don't add enough fucking salt.
yeah.
I just don't. Like, for some reason, my mind goes, si le echas más, la vas a sobresalar.
Uh
But the
huh.
thing is, normally for plates, well, not anymore, not lately,
Mhm.
but it used to be, I would help people. No, sorry, I would help people. I would ask people to help me salt because you know how between three different people, you're like, okay, we all agree if it's a little bit more, nos pasamos de verga.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it used to be that way, but fuck it, I'm adding more salt, and if y'all get dehydrated, blame yourself for eating more. Fuck you. And like, el otro día hice lengua, güey.
Uh huh.
And they were like, estaba bien, nomás faltaba, nomás, we felt like it needed to be cooked more. And I was like, is that fucking, what the fuck is this called? Like a steamer.
Oh yeah yeah yeah.
It's a fucking steamer.
Mm.
Pressure cooker. God damn it, it's called a pressure
Ah.
cooker.
Okay. Okay.
And they go, what do you mean? I'm like, it turned off after 30 minutes, and I asked you to put 30 more, and this shit told me it didn't want to.
Bro.
Like, fucking safety or whatever.
Uh
So I
huh.
just put it on the fucking stove, and then I came over here. And, okay, clarification. That pot is made so that you can put it on the stove.
Mhm.
You take it out of the out of the pressure cooker, the electric pressure cooker, and you can put it on the stove. It works. Don't fucking yell at me. I know what I'm doing, for Christ's sakes. Anyway,
Yeah yeah.
uh, so I fucking throw it up there and whatever,
Mhm.
and my dumbass tells my sister, "Oh, just leave it on 10, 20 minutes,"
Mhm.
and we get 30. They were like, "Oh, it was a little too tosco,
Uh huh.
tough." There we go.
Yeah.
And no, and I was like, oh, I kind of figured. And then they go, why? And I'm like, because I told Ale the wrong amount of time, and she doesn't know how to like check things the old way,
Yeah.
to where you would fucking check. ¿Está duro? Sí. Échale más pinche tiempo.
Uh huh.
But in the morning, en la pinche mañana, güey, ¡au! A todo lo que da, cabrón. Estaba pero blandita.
Yeah yeah.
Así como cuando comes algo que no te gusta de haber tragado, blandito. Una cosa seria.
No, but yeah. But the point being, like, with like super clear step by step instruction, I was able to make carne. Not only just carne asada, I made myself a torta, of carne asada,
Ay, cómete algo, perra.
and it was so good. Like the only thing it was missing, like in my opinion,
Mhm.
but but it's just because this is how I like my carne asada. The only thing it was missing was limon, but we just didn't have any, so I just had carne asada like that. But even so, like I was so proud of myself because at the end of the day, it was edible, and anything that I make,
Pero
and any food that I make that is edible is a win for me. Like no lie.
you know what's real fucking good?
What's up?
That I've only made once
Mm.
because I would with the shit I had at the house at the time, there was no way I was gonna be able to seal this shit correctly.
Mhm.
Cochinita pibil.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Like, no, like even my family was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was just like, "Espérate, wait." And I spent a couple hours fucking making it,
Uh huh.
but I couldn't seal it. I couldn't seal it off correctly. Like that's one of the things you have to be able to seal shit like that off correctly, or else it'll dry out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I made that shit. Y la neta, güey, me pasé de verga.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Cause, eh?
I said fair enough. Fair enough.
And I've been wanting to make it again, but yeah. But are you gonna be able to seal it correctly this time? You look, and I was like, motherfucker.
Hey, that's understandable. Um, no, but yeah. Point being, clear instructions, please. Otherwise, I just can't give you what you want. Like I can't give you the results you want without clear
And
instructions.
that goes for all you ladies. Oh my god. Get canceled. I'm just kidding.
Just tell me what you want from me.
Neta, it would make things a lot more easier. What do you want? I want to be happy. Okay, I can do that.
Like, okay, like, should this be a topic we dive into?
Let's get canceled.
Okay, all I will say, I won't speak for every guy because every guy has their own like whatever. But like,
Some guys like to be confused all the time.
yeah. But as for
I like how horny cut off.
as per like as per like my brain and like the way I process things in life, if I don't have clear instruction, if I don't have like clear indication of like what is expected of me, of what you want, I will be completely oblivious to anything that you're trying to get across unless you give me like direct like, hey, I need or I want this. I don't know if you can give it to me, but like this is what I want. And like I'll go out of my way just to be like, you know what? I will do my best. And like here you go, you know? But like at the end of the day, like I am someone who and I've said this throughout most of the episode. Again, I'm someone who like is completely oblivious as to how to do anything unless you tell me how to do it. Otherwise, like I can't. Like I genuinely can't cuz I am I've been a very sheltered kind of person. Obviously, I've had an understanding of how to like treat people and how to like be not a douchebag just through my parents. However, there have been like certain ways of expressing myself and certain ways of acting and certain just in general certain ways of being a human that I haven't learned because I have some kind of like mental incapacity to be able to learn these things in a natural sort of way. Like I genuinely have to have explanations as to like, okay, I know what you think you're doing is correct, but like there's a better way of doing things than this direction because this direction has these repercussions or whatever. I am someone who like genuinely needs like as babyish as it sounds, like I do need a helping hand a lot of the time. And that's just because like I am incapable of retaining like information in a way that'll like stick with me unless I have someone to give me like a clearer way to remember.
I feel like there's an easier way to say that.
Fair enough. And what would that be?
Computer brain need more input.
Yes.
Missing input.
You know what? Yeah. Basically. Basically. The brain is a computer. If you don't give it enough data, it'll have
Okay. Okay.
inconclusive results.
Okay. So like, I feel like that's like a really fucking stupid way of putting it. Most of us guys fucking work that way.
Mm. That is something I do want to like dive into a bit. Um, Obviously, I am not exactly the best example of this kind of stuff because for the longest time, I am working on this stuff now, but for the longest time, my regulator, as far as like differentiating like friendly affection to romantic affection, has been very out of whack. Like for the past, I would say 10 to 12 years.
Mine's been what out of whack since kinder.
But basically it's just
I
it's
hope that one didn't cut off.
uh but basically it's the sort of thing where like I've had to learn recently. And like I can say I've made a lot of good progress now where like I don't really take any signs of affections as seriously as I used to. But like back in the days, oh my gosh, any clarity as to like what kind of like affection you're trying to demonstrate would have been so needed for me cuz and like frankly like I understand now that a lot of it should have been clarity on my side because again I was very aware of the fact that my regulator was very broken.
It's broken.
Like yeah, but like I am someone who has a lot of trouble like expressing this stuff publicly at least. I've always found like clarity through writing, whether it be on paper or through texting or stuff like that, just because it gives me time to think of what I'm actually saying. Um, but like any guidance as to like, oh, by the way, I didn't mean this way. I meant it like this. Like would have been so helpful for me because I am very oblivious as to like any sort of like hints about anything. Um, so much so that like the people that so much so that even in the moments when someone was trying to demonstrate some kind of like romantic affection towards me, I had zero clue until like years later. Like I remember I was
I
talking
still have no fucking clue.
like
It's been 5 years and I'm still trying to figure this
yeah, like I remember I have multiple stories where like some really good friends of mine would like we'd be talking about certain things about the past of just reminiscing about like cool times as friends and like this sort of topic would be brought up and then like just so nonchalantly would be like oh yeah I think that was around the time when like I had a crush on you or whatever and
bruh.
I would be like completely floored in the fact that like I had no idea because like I genuinely I missed any kind of like signal or sign that that was even like something that was going on. Um
Wait, hasta te quedas pendejo cuando te. No, actually, you know what? In my case, it's kind of like, no dijiste nada a la verga. You know what I mean?
uh-huh. But like
Because I got called handsome. I don't remember how many months ago this was.
mhm.
Last time I went drinking, and
Yeah.
I was just like, "You should have said something like 7 years ago." And then she was like, "I always thought you had a girlfriend." Bitch, we all know I can't get no bitch.
Point is
But
clear
the point is, fucking
clarity.
tell us. Hints? We don't need no hints. We need a hint. Hey, bitch, I love you, bitch. And that's it.
Um
That's the hint. You need to hint us like that.
in a
Sorry.
in a in a more direct way. Clarity, please. Because like some of us are just not. Some of us are just not detectives, and even the people that are detectives would like have no idea.
Dude, did I fucking tell you of man? And then I fucking fucked up on that one.
Mm.
Actually, I don't think I fucked up on that one, but I got sent a message
Mm-hmm.
probably 4 years ago now, and the girl said something like sent me a fucking screenshot that said, "When my kids ask me about love, I will tell them about you, and I will tell them that there's just some loves that just simply couldn't be."
Um.
My bitch has answered with damn or post me moral. I don't remember it. I don't remember which one it was,
Uh-huh.
but I
It
remember
was.
reading it like last year, and I was like, "Sí que soy un pendejo, güey." Oh my fucking god! And no, and more background context on that. I was going to ask her out. I don't know how many years ago it might be now, like 3 years ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I had found out it was her birthday that day, and I was like,
You were like, never
I'm not
mind.
gonna ask her out on her birthday.
Uh huh.
And guess what?
What?
Some fucking dude asked her out on her birthday.
Child.
If I hadn't thought, you know what? Don't do that too. Don't fucking ask them out on their birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Hubiera sido mi novia. like no mames, güey. How you gonna ask someone out on their birthday?
Yeah. You'd have to be one cocky dude to just be like, hey, I want to be your gift.
Neta, güey. But that shit fucked with me, like, I don't know, man. Y el pedo es que la quería un chingo, pero I didn't fucking ask her out because it was her birthday. I come back next week, someone had asked her birthday.
Mm.
I was just like, se mamaron.
It happens.
It happens to me a lot.
Um, but the heck was I? I was gonna say something, but I. This okay.
Fucking hints don't work. We don't get hints. We're dumbasses. Computer brain, no logic that way. Logic gate number 23 not functioning. Please, tell us. Yeah, there'll be one or another asshole who's like, you know what? Nah,
Mm.
todo bien. No gracias. But for the most part, most of us are attention starved enough to where if you tell us something, we're gonna be thinking about it for a fucking year. Or maybe even 5.
Then again,
Liter-
some of it depends on the guy, cause like I
yeah, that's why I said, like, yeah, there's some assholes, but
I don't know, like some of them have an understanding that like oh well, that was a missed opportunity, whatever. Um, all my
some
respects,
of us think it's a missed
yeah,
opportunity.
all of my respects to the people that are able to move on that quick, that have a grasp on life,
Neta.
that have a grasp on life like that, and I appreciate people with that quality and that trait. Um, it's something that I'm trying to work towards, and to be fair, I feel like I am getting close. Like I genuinely feel a lot happier now. Um, it's weird because like I had like a phrase that's been kind of like sticking to my mind recently. I've been kind of wanting to either make it into like a song topic or like a lyric, or like make poetry out of it. But like it's the idea of like being slightly more alone but feeling way less lonely. Like it's a sort of thing where like I feel like as far as like how many people I have around me, it's a lot less, or not a lot, but like it's quite noticeable how small it's gotten since like a certain time period. And yet despite all of that, I feel a lot less like lonely. Cuz yeah, like in terms of like physically, like yeah, I'm kind of alone. Like I don't really have much people around me, but like I don't. I'm not really drowning in loneliness as much as I used to be.
I am.
I'm right here, fool.
That's okay. I'm still drowning.
come,
Well,
come visit.
I'd have to take the bus. Like, and I've thought about it too, but well, I'm supposed to go there Saturday, right?
I.
But since that whole shit happened
You're kind of afraid
this week,
of. Yeah, you're kind of afraid of leaving things like unchecked.
yeah, I'm like, you know what? Last time I one of my family members to check up on shit while I was busy doing something else, they didn't.
Mhm.
So I don't feel like anyone else half of the responsibilities I have to take care of.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to wait. Um, that being said, like, do you know how annoying it is to have a nephew? Nobody else gets in trouble.
Um. I know it's like to have siblings.
Okay, so imagine it's a sibling that your parents clearly love more than you,
mm.
who, if you yell at, they yell at you for yelling at them.
Mm.
Who, if you tell them, hey, don't do that shit, they yell at you for telling them not to do that shit.
Like, okay, to be.
That's what it's like to have this little motherfucker.
Uh huh. Like, okay, to be completely fair, like I joke, but like I would say, in full honesty, like my parents have been very, um, what's the word? Cautious as far as like showing any kind of like favoritism like that. So much so that like we all get treated like exactly the same, as far as like expectations and respect and stuff like that. Um, so like as far as like any favoritism, like there's no semblance of that here. Like in like a super like obvious like, oh, this is like the pampered one. This is that. Like we were all very much like, once we got to a certain age, like, okay, if you want stuff, you gotta work for it. And like,
And for us, it's completely fucking backwards. You think the youngest one of us would be the pampered one, right?
mm,
I'm
no,
not.
no, yeah,
I wish I was. Like,
yeah,
actually, you've been there. You know,
no, yeah, I know. I am very aware. I've both heard stories and witnessed it in like first person.
real life.
Yeah.
But to me, it's always been one of those things where like they push me and they push me and they push me and they push me and they push me, and they didn't realize that on the floor this entire time with my face on the fucking concrete.
Mhm.
Well, not the concrete, more like the fucking road, and they're still pushing me, dragging me along.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you noticed
No,
I
yeah.
basically moved most of the house by myself.
No, yeah. And that was the thing too. Like I remember you telling me like, "Hey, I are you busy right now? I need help." And I was just like, "No, yeah, what's up?" And the moment you said, "No, yeah, we're moving out of my house and I'm the only one moving stuff. I need help. Can you come?" And I was just like, "No, yeah, absolutely." Like I thought it was, well, obviously like knowing, having heard stories
You
and
thought it was a hyperbole.
no, yeah, but like knowing, cause like it was the sort of thing where like knowing the stories you've told me, I was just like, okay, I can, I think what you're telling me is true. I didn't get the full picture until I was actually there, and yeah, like most everything, I would say 99.9% of like all the moving around was on our part. Um,
Yeah.
everything else was just kind of through necessity. Like it was very much a thing where like we're like, listen, we won't be able to move this unless you do this thing. And it was very much a thing where like, if it was out of necessity,
Begrudgingly.
yeah, if it was urgent, if it was like out of necessity, if it was okay, if it was causing an inconvenience to them, they would do it. If not, it was very much okay, you guys take care of this or whatever. Like obviously we did get somewhat of help as far as like I remember like we would try moving stuff around and they were just like just use the what was it, the wagon?
Hmm.
Yeah, just use the wagon to move. Like they would like here's the wagon, use it. But it was very much just like here's the thing, now do the job, you know?
I know.
Point is we moved a lot of stuff.
Yes, we did.
And I only ever got to see like um I would say about 80% when everything was like 80% done as far as like the full move into like that back house.
Yeah,
Cuz
I
I
did the rest of that shit.
Yeah, cuz I remember the last time we hung out there was still some stuff that was like outside, like in the
There
front.
technically is still stuff outside.
But is it like all those big piles?
Son los muebles, güey. They don't fit in the fucking house. And I told her, look, you gotta get rid of some of this shit.
Mhm.
It won't fit in the house. And she's like, no, yeah, it'll fit. Bro,
And then no fit.
no. It don't. It don't. Like, I don't get what's wrong with my parents if they think I'm fucking inept or something. But it's kind of a thing where they both recognize I'm smarter than them. That I know what I'm fucking talking about a lot of the time. Yet when it comes to listening, they just do not.
Mhm.
It's one of those I'm your parent, you'll do what I say type ordeal. But it's kind of like, hey, if we're gonna keep doing this shit, you might as well be asking me for
Mhm.
which honestly gets very annoying. They all depend on me in that fucking house for one thing or another.
Mhm.
My mom doesn't want to do something, guess who gets sent?
Mhm.
Nobody wants something from the store, guess who gets sent? Ale needs to go to the store. Well, Ale now has her permit, but my mom signed something so she can't drive my mom's car. So guess who gets sent?
Mhm.
For everything, I just get sent. And it's kind of like a thing where it's like, hey, you tell me not to depend on you, but when push comes to shove, you're all depending on me.
Mhm.
What the fuck? It's tiring, dude, because it's like, oh yeah, y'all definitely don't need me, but I'm still doing everything.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's stressful,
Yeah.
but at least when I go back to studying, I could be like, no, I'm working on shit. And to be fair, I have been working on shit on the background, but for the most part, my family keeps getting in the way by asking me to do a shit ton of stuff.
Mhm.
Also, do you think I should make carnitas to sell? Dude, I carnitas are so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And I did the math, and Cardenas sells them like $2
Mhm.
above
Uh.
what they could be selling them if they wanted to.
Mhm.
But
Wait, wasn't it you who said like I don't know what it was, but like you were like, oh yeah, these things are like $12 a pound,
yeah, carnitas are 12 fucking dollars a pound.
dude. Like that was ridiculous.
I know, right? And the thing is, si clarificas la manteca, if you clarify the manteca, the lard,
Mhm.
that lard will last a while.
Yeah.
So it's a thing where, yeah, the lard kind of diminishes in returns, but not as fast.
Yeah.
So when I did the math, I was like, damn, these carnitas are expensive. Then I was like, I can undercut it by $2 and still make a profit.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not as much as if I was making like pierna de puerco
Mhm.
because that shit you got the salsa and everything, the cost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And right now el tomatillo está 79. You know, it's como Lord,
Yeah.
Lord. The one time I'm like, thank you.
Mhm. No, but yeah.
I was like, hey, why is this movie in here? Spanish. Yeah, but Ow. Oh, you know that thing when you like get up for a second because your butt hurts, but getting up fucking hurts more?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit hurted.
And on that note, no,
Not- And on that note, have you ever taken?
no, no.
You need more fiber, or is it less? It's been a while.
I don't remember.
I think
But
it's less.
but yeah. Point being, just make life easier, please.
Yes, make life easier for everyone,
Cause
including yourself.
listen, okay. This is just general speaking here that I'm going to be doing now. Just to close out everything. But I know in general life isn't easy. I get it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of push. It's a lot of shove. It's a lot of give and take. At the end of the day, even for random people, even for people in power, whatever, things would move so much easier if you just made clear instructions to follow. As far as if you just made, okay, listen, if you just were super direct and super clear on this is what is expected of you, it would be so much easier. Cuz there are so many okay, I'll put it this way. There are so many struggles as far as hey, I want to make a living just working, but I can't because everything is too expensive, or everything, or the jobs that I'm taking isn't giving me enough pay, or this or that. And certain the housing prices and stuff doesn't what's the word? Doesn't really work with the wages that I'm being given or whatever. There are so many people that are just oh, you can do it, just do it. If you could just give simple hey, if you want to achieve this, no super life hack oh my gosh, there's this one thing you can do that'll there's this one piece of thing that you can do that'll just absolutely ruin the system or whatever, and it'll work in your favor or what. No, if you just gave clear instructions of okay, if this is the desirable thing you want, desirable thing being having a house and a sustainable wage or whatever, this is the path you need to take. It's gonna take a lot of work. It's gonna take a lot of effort. It's gonna take a lot of
It's gonna
time.
be a pain in the
Yeah,
fucking
it's
ass.
gonna take a lot of time.
You're gonna wake up some days, you're gonna be like, wow.
Exactly. But this,
But you have to think about, you know what? I'm doing this for this.
it's a sort of
But
thing where
like,
it's gonna be a lot of work, but this is your end goal. This is the result of all that work. If it were just that simple of instruction, I feel like it would be so much easier. Not only for people like me, but just in general for a generation that doesn't really know how to navigate this. Mainly because a lot of things have changed since the previous generation. But
neta.
if there were certain guidelines to hey, usually if you want this, you have to take these steps, it would make things so much easier for everyone. Just because everyone's already in a chaotic state of how am I gonna manage this? How am I gonna manage that? How can I balance this with this and this and this and this? Like, there has to be some kind of middle ground, some kind of regulation that's just hey, if you want to achieve this type of stability, obviously you're the kind of stability that a lot of millionaires and billionaires tend to find. They found their own way, they found this and whatever, but for most people, if you want stability as far as being able to get by, this is usually what you need to do. These are the steps. This is how you do it.
I
Make
feel for a lot of people,
Yeah.
it's more of a they lack discipline. Like even myself
Mhm.
sometimes. Sometimes I lack discipline.
Yeah.
Like if I were to just be like, you know what? It's been one shit ass week, but I need to do this. Like, I should have cut the fucking grass yesterday. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even cut it today. I just went out with the fuck
Yeah, yeah.
with the weed eater earlier, like around 6, and I just fucking weed eated that fucking trench.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I was like, if I don't get started, I'm not gonna do shit at all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wake up. It's gonna be hot as fuck. I'm just gonna lay there. I'm gonna fall the fuck back asleep.
Yeah.
But today, I at least got out there with the weed eater, and I'm gonna be like, that line looks like shit. I need to do it again.
No, but yeah, like it's mainly putting order to the chaos that's already going on. Cause like,
Yeah.
admittedly, like life in itself is,
Admittedly, I think we're on chaos.
yeah. Cause like, okay, there's an understanding that life in itself is very chaotic, is very unpredictable. It is very much like unfair. Not in like a nihilistic way of life is so unfair, everything bad happens to me. Like, no, no. I'm saying in general, life has
I'll
no
be nihilistic for you guys.
like life has no what's the word? Life has no consciousness to dictate whether something is unfair or not. Life just happens. However, there is a lot of disorder that is caused by us. Like not by life in itself being itself, but by us. If that disorder had clarity, life would be so much simpler to follow. And I feel like for a lot of people, at least for myself, I can speak for myself. I very much need that. Cuz the way things used to work don't work anymore. There's a lot more required to be able to
Yeah.
get to the point that our parents got to just by doing less stuff back in
I've
the day.
heard a lot of adults say, if I had to live through the time you're living through, I wouldn't.
Mhm.
Yeah. They, they literally said they prefer to die. That's how bad shit's getting back here. Like, and the thing is, I don't think most of us, especially our fucking generation, is making it any easy. It's not like we can just straight up talk about like, oh, sabes qué? Like you're talking with someone you've been friends with or whatever. Like, hey, yo, you know what? Like,
Mhm.
they probably won't answer, or they'll tell you something stupid, or they'll be like, oh, okay, and that's it. It's not like oh, let's have a conversation about it. It's a lot of people our age, and actually even some as old as my parents, don't know how to be adult enough to just fucking speak sometimes.
Mhm.
And I think that's what's costing us.
Yeah.
Because if everybody's out here policing each other's fucking language and telling you, and like, hey, well, sometimes we police ourselves to be honest, because we're like, hey, how am I supposed to tell blank that I like her, or blank that she didn't look too good yesterday, that I was worried?
Mhm.
Like, sometimes we just need to do it.
Mhm.
And if the other person no responde bien, pues ni modo.
Mhm.
But it's a call you need to make every day.
Yeah. To be fair, like I do agree in a sense, just because that is something that I personally uh, am still in the process of learning. Um, just because, yeah, like it's a sort of thing where like sometimes like people do need to talk because at the end of the day, like not talking is what feeds into disorder. Cause like sometimes you think, oh, maybe if I just don't say anything, like this will just go away. No, it just pushes the problem away and just makes things a worse, or you just like add like you just like are only like running away from what's inevitably going to happen. Um, but yeah, like
I kind of don't feel like there's such a thing as pushing a problem away. And the reason I don't feel that is because it'll always be a problem for at least one party involved.
no, yeah,
Like, my, I'm about to call my mom out. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, please don't fucking send her this. Don't send this to anyone in my family. Hey, Ale. This one's for us. My sister. But my mom always made it impossible to talk about problems.
Mhm.
I don't know why the hell she did that, but it's always been a fucking problem. And to her, it's like, no, there's no problems at home. Nobody's brought them up. You don't let us bring them up.
Mhm.
You don't even let like she didn't even let my dad. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like
Mhm.
people need to learn to talk things out because problems will fester
Yeah.
and they'll just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mhm.
And one person will have no fucking clue. I cut out again. And the other person will be madder than holy fuck. I cut out and fuck.
Yeah.
Um, God wasn't like, don't you dare. Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you think everything's okay. What does the other person think?
Yeah.
Are you sure that everything's okay? And to be fair, for some of you, this one ain't for you. Don't overthink it. If you're thinking too much, just be like, hey, yo, we cool? No problems? Yeah, okay, we're done.
Mhm.
But for some of you, think about it. Is there a problem? Is there something that, I don't know, uh, your best friend got mad at you because this shit keeps cutting out. Give me a
Yeah.
second. Let me push this back in. Let me try something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do I sound like shit?
No.
Do I sound okay?
Yeah.
Do I sound like I'm using the same audio device?
Kinda. Yeah.
Okay. Good. It worked. Um, where the fuck was I?
Oh, for some of you, um,
Oh yeah. For some of you, don't think about it. You good? You good? We good? We good? You love me? No. Okay. Thank God. Move on. For some of you, think about it. You good? No. We good? We good? No. You love me? Yeah. Shit. We got problems.
mhm.
Like, yeah, because sometimes some things remain unsaid, but that's because, well, we were avoiding problems,
Mhm.
or like we thought we were the issue. That one's mostly mine,
Mhm.
by the way. Um, but sometimes you just need to go out there and be like, sabes, chinga tu madre, chinga mi madre, me voy a la jodida. Thank you for your time.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's a fucking weird ass conversation
Yeah.
to have with someone, but at the same time, it's like it is what
Necessary.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's necessary. And sometimes you need to dust off your hand and say, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna be honest, there's a conversation I've been needing to have for like 5 years
Mhm.
that I'm gonna try to start because I've been thinking about it for like a fucking month.
Mhm.
And there's another conversation I've needed to have for a fucking year that I'm just gonna go ahead and start because it's been eating at me for a fucking week.
Mhm.
So I'll be crying tomorrow. You can catch me tomorrow.
And on the next episode of it, no, I'm just
On the next episode, I talked to the two girls that broke my heart.
kidding. Bruh.
It's more like the two people who had the most influence in the last, I don't fucking know how long, probably since 2012.
Mhm.
So, sorry, friends. It's not you guys. Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, I should have had this conversation years ago. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I should have had this conversation 4 years ago, I fucking cut out, didn't I?
Yeah.
Give me a second. Okay, better.
A bit. Yeah.
I put it on Omni,
Okay.
so hopefully Omni fucking works better. Um, but as a matter of fact, one of the things that told me I should have one of these conversations, it didn't fucking help. Jesus Christ. Um, happened like 4 years ago, and it was this other guy asking. We were sitting in the and he goes, "Hey, how do I ask this girl out? Where should I do it?" and the girl mentioned the place I asked her out. Y la neta me ardió.
Mm.
That shit hurted. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's always been well, it's not always been in the back of my. But when someone mentions her, that shit pops up again.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was the only time I walked in. Fuck, I keep on cutting out. It was the only time I walked into that restaurant.
Uh-huh.
So my only memory of of that restaurant is asking her out.
Mm.
So when she says, "Oh, you should ask the girl out," should I just say the name of the restaurant?
I guess.
IHOP sponsor us. You cause me pain. You can sponsor me.
It's just like
um,
I only go to Denny's now.
IHOP sponsor me, and I'll go back to your restaurant. Um, but the only memory of that restaurant was that day.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, when the guy asked like, "Hey, where should I ask her?" The girl said, "Oh, ask her out at IHOP."
Mm.
I was at that fucking table when she said it,
Mm-hmm.
and it always bothered me. Siempre, like that comment to me fucking hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Porque de primero she had said yeah. Well, you know the story.
Mm-hmm.
Y después dijo que no. But I never asked why. I was just like, nah, fuck it. Moving on.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see. Let's cry tomorrow. Y güey, me
Mm.
dijo que era porque huelo a culo. Me dijo que era porque me apestaba el sobaco.
By the way,
Y yo que me perfumaba porque iba a estar ella.
but
Okay.
but yeah. Honestly,
Shout out to the one person that came in here because I'm part of the Twitch.
shout outs.
There should only be one person that comes in here from Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
To the rest of you, I'll see you around.
Bring
To the one girl, if you're listening to this, what the fuck? Why are you listening to this? I didn't put this on Facebook for a reason.
No, yeah.
Job, don't at me on Facebook with this shit. I don't want my family to see it.
No, yeah, we're only on Instagram. By the way, like legit,
Okay, thank God.
if there's anything in the future and in past episodes, mostly the past episode, where we mention certain things that, oh, you should search this up, oh, this and that, like, all that stuff will be in the description from here on out. Like,
Oh,
yeah, they're all,
like in the last episode where I was like, bro, you should look at Mr. Mo.
yeah,
Damn
like
it.
all of this stuff will be in the description. So, I don't
Have
think
you checked out Mr. Mobile?
I have not yet.
Oh, another channel I want you to check out
But that
is
was
called Noodle.
But that was on the episode that got corrupted,
Yeah.
which is very unfortunate.
Well, we'll see if we can try to save it.
No,
Which
all of it is gone. All of it is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. No, like legit, it was unworkable, that thing. Like I swear, like even if you would have come here and tried, like I guarantee you, like you would have been just as confused as we were. And like I'm saying that because Hasiel had a hand in trying to like fix things up, and like his savviness on that kind of stuff is scary to me. And even he was just like, and even he was just like, this is an impossible thing that's happening right now. This shouldn't be a thing that is happening.
So what I heard is we're gonna talk about phones again.
Someday.
What the fuck were we talking about? Do you remember? It was phone memories and what else?
Oh, in that episode?
Yeah.
It was very much, that whole episode was very much we're getting old episode.
Talking about we're getting old.
Actually,
Um,
before we hop into
you want to cut it off?
Yeah, before we hop into this.
Okay.
But yeah, like, again.
Anyway, see you guys later.
Yeah. No, but what I
the XD.
what I do want to say to close off, just, yeah, a lot of what we said is very much on the same guidelines as, please, like, if you can, bring some order to the chaos that is controllable, because whatever you have to do to make things clearer, whether that's communication, whether that's like all of this stuff to put things into general, easy to understand terms, it'll make life so much easier for everyone. And I guarantee you, like, it'll not only make it easier for the people around you, but it'll make it easier on yourself. Like, trust me, it really
there's
does.
another thing with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're afraid of telling someone you like them, this one might mostly be me talking like directly at myself for this one.
And to me.
But if you're afraid of saying that shit, just fucking tell them.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the worst you can get is a no.
No, at the end of the day, the worst you can get is, ew, you smelly ass bitch. You look like shit.
You know what? Fair. 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 Like, at the end of the day... No, but at the end of the day, that is the worst you can get. Meanwhile, the worst you can get in not saying anything is that you just lose the person entirely. And
there's a lot of fucking drama and trauma.
Yeah, and
some therapy.
And generally,
depression.
Generally, I could say that from experience. There are multiple friends that I wish I still had in my life, because a lot of these friends were really good influences on my life that I just happened to...
If you're hearing this, hi. I'm Vincent.
Like, I have plenty of cases from back in the days, and even up to recently, where that has been the case. And again, like, if for whatever reason these people somehow find their way here, like, genuinely, like,
hi.
That was very much my bad, and total apologies on my end. I don't know how to handle these things. But for people who are dealing with this kind of issue, please, like, legit, communicate. Bring order to that chaos. Because any lack of communication, any lack of clarity will only make things worse. And we can both say this from experience. Save yourself some trouble.
I can say it from a lot of experience.
Yeah, save yourself some trouble. And try to make everything around you easier. For not only everyone around you, but, like, for yourself. Because legit.
Do you guys ever get surprised with the amount of depression that I've had to deal with? That I'm still around?
I think...
Holy fuck, I got dark.
Okay, goodbye. Thanks for watching.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Depression on the next episode.
Depression coming up today.
Nah, but for real. Stay safe out there, guys.